At 65, Simon Cowell stands as one of the most recognizable figures in modern entertainment, a man whose presence once dominated global television screens and shaped the ambitions of aspiring performers across continents. To audiences, he appeared unwavering, confident, decisive, and immune to doubt. His sharp critiques and composed demeanor suggested someone entirely at ease with power and success. Yet that image, while not false, was incomplete. Like many who rise to extraordinary heights, Simon's outward certainty was built upon years of inner questioning, trial, and self-discovery. His life story is not a straight line from obscurity to triumph, but a layered journey marked by setbacks, reinvention, and gradual understanding. Away from the spotlight, beyond the applause and controversy, he navigated the same universal questions of purpose, belonging, and meaning that define the human experience. Early life and the search for validation. Simon Philip Cowell was born in London in 1959 into a household that valued discipline, creativity, and structure. His father worked in the music industry, offering Simon early exposure to a world that would later define his career, while his mother, a trained ballet dancer, embodied poise and commitment. Yet, emotional expression was restrained and encouragement was subtle rather than overt. Praise was not freely given, and achievement was often expected rather than celebrated. As a child, Simon absorbed the idea that success mattered deeply, even if it was not openly discussed. That quiet environment shaped his internal compass, instilling both ambition and a lingering desire to feel acknowledged. Over time, this early conditioning would influence how he pursued goals and how he measured his own worth, planting the seeds for both resilience and self-doubt. Education, restlessness, and self-doubt. School proved challenging for Simon, not because of a lack of intelligence, but because of a mismatch between traditional academic structures and his natural temperament. He struggled to engage with rigid systems and often felt disconnected from conventional paths of achievement. Teachers did not always recognize his potential, and peers seemed more comfortable navigating expectations that felt confining to him. This period reinforced a sense of uncertainty about where he fit and what he was meant to do. Yet even in those moments of frustration, Simon was developing an independent way of thinking. He questioned assumptions, observed behavior closely, and learned to trust his instincts, qualities that would later become central to his professional success, even if they went unnoticed at the time. Entering the music industry from the bottom, Simon's introduction to the music business was humble and demanding. He began with entry-level roles that involved routine tasks rather than creative decision-making. Sorting mail, assisting others, and learning through observation, he spent years on the periphery of an industry driven by talent, timing, and perception. These early experiences were not glamorous, but they were formative. Watching how decisions were made behind closed doors taught him lessons no classroom could offer. He learned how trends emerged, how audiences responded emotionally to music, and how commercial realities shaped artistic choices. Though progress was slow, these years quietly built the foundation for his later understanding of what truly resonates with the public. Early risk and professional setback. In the 1980s, Simon took a significant leap by launching his own record label, driven by confidence and a desire to create something independent. Initially, the venture showed promise, bringing moments of excitement and recognition. However, the music industry is notoriously unpredictable, and shifts in consumer behavior quickly altered the landscape. Financial pressures mounted, and the business ultimately struggled to sustain itself. The experience was deeply humbling. Returning home after the venture collapsed forced Simon to reassess his approach and confront the realities of risk and resilience. Rather than viewing the setback as a permanent defeat, he began to see it as a learning experience, one that clarified his strengths and revealed where adaptation was necessary. Redefining success. Through audience connection. When Simon re-entered the industry in the 1990s, he did so with a renewed perspective. Instead of chasing critical approval or elite validation, he focused on understanding what audiences genuinely enjoyed. He paid attention to emotional response rather than technical perfection, recognizing that connection mattered more than complexity. This shift marked a turning point in his career. By valuing relatability and accessibility, he found opportunities others overlooked. His instincts proved accurate, leading to successful projects that resonated widely. This period taught him that influence does not come from imposing taste, but from listening, an insight that would later define his approach to television and talent development. The transformation into a television icon. Simon Cowell's transition to television introduced him to an entirely new level of visibility. As a judge on talent competitions, his direct communication style stood out immediately. While some viewers found his honesty surprising, others appreciated its clarity. He articulated what many audiences felt but had not heard expressed so plainly. Over time, his presence became a defining feature of the format, reshaping expectations of what a judge could be. He was no longer just evaluating performances, he was shaping a cultural conversation around talent, effort, and authenticity. Television amplified his influence, transforming him into a global figure whose opinions carried weight far beyond the stage. Fame, responsibility, and the cost of visibility. With recognition came an intense level of scrutiny. Simon's schedule grew demanding, often stretching across multiple continents and time zones. While success brought opportunities, it also introduced a relentless pace that left little room for rest. Public attention followed him everywhere, turning private moments into subjects of discussion. Despite being surrounded by colleagues and audiences, there were times when the experience felt isolating. Fame, he learned, magnifies everything: the highs, the expectations, and the quiet moments in between. This phase of his life highlighted the importance of balance and underscored that external validation, while powerful, cannot replace personal fulfillment, reflection, accountability, and personal growth. As his career evolved, Simon faced periods of reflection prompted by public discussion of his decisions and personal life. Rather than retreating from scrutiny, he approached it with increasing openness and accountability. He acknowledged mistakes and used them as opportunities for self-examination. This willingness to reflect marked a shift from earlier stages of his career when momentum often left little time for pause. Through introspection, he gained clarity about his values and the impact of his influence. Growth, he realized, was not about perfection, but about learning and adjusting with honesty and intention. Fatherhood, and a shift in perspective. Becoming a father introduced a profound change in Simon's priorities. The arrival of his son brought a new sense of purpose that reframed how he viewed time, success, and responsibility. Work remained important, but it no longer defined his entire identity. Moments of presence and connection took on greater meaning. Fatherhood encouraged patience, empathy, and reflection, offering lessons no professional achievement could provide. It grounded him in the present and highlighted the importance of nurturing relationships over chasing constant expansion. This chapter represented not a departure from ambition, but a more balanced understanding of what fulfillment truly requires. Health, limits, and respect for the body. Later experiences with physical setbacks encouraged Simon to reassess his relationship with work and well-being. Accustomed to pushing through long hours, he was reminded that rest and recovery are essential, not optional. These moments fostered a deeper respect for health and longevity, reinforcing the importance of self-care. Recovery became an opportunity to slow down and reflect, offering insights into balance and sustainability. Rather than viewing these challenges as obstacles, he embraced them as reminders of life's fragility and value. Image, acceptance, and authenticity. Working in a visually driven industry inevitably brought attention to appearance. Over time, Simon spoke openly about navigating public perception and the pressure to maintain a certain image. Eventually, he reached a place of acceptance, choosing authenticity over expectation. This decision reflected a broader shift towards self-compassion and realism. Aging, he acknowledged, is a natural process, and embracing it brought a sense of freedom. Letting go of external judgment allowed him to reclaim ownership of his image and focus on what truly mattered. Leadership with empathy and experience. Those who collaborate with Simon today often describe a leader shaped by experience and reflection. While he remains direct and decisive, there is greater emphasis on listening and mentorship. Years of navigating success and challenge have refined his understanding of influence and responsibility. Authority, he learned, is most effective when paired with respect and clarity. This evolution reflects not a softening of standards, but a deeper awareness of how guidance can empower others. Rethinking legacy and long-term impact. As time passed, Simon's perspective on legacy shifted. Early measures of success, ratings, sales, and reach gave way to questions about meaning and contribution. He began to prioritize projects aligned with his values, focusing on sustainability and positive impact. Legacy, he realized, is shaped not only by accomplishments, but by relationships and the example one sets. This understanding guided his choices, emphasizing depth over scale and responsibility over recognition. A life defined by adaptation. Simon Cowell's story is ultimately one of adaptation rather than transformation. There was no single moment of reinvention, but a gradual process of learning, adjusting, and understanding. Each phase of his life added perspective, revealing that ambition and vulnerability can coexist. His journey illustrates that success does not eliminate doubt, but offers opportunities to grow alongside it. Through experience, he learned when to push forward and when to pause, when to speak and when to listen. A human legacy beyond the spotlight. Beyond television formats and chart-topping acts, Simon Cowell's enduring contribution lies in his humanity. His life reminds us that even the most confident public figures navigate uncertainty and reflection. Growth is ongoing, shaped by experience and self-awareness. At this stage, he appears less focused on proving himself and more committed to being present, finding meaning in connection, understanding, and time well spent. In that quiet clarity, his story reaches its most authentic expression.